Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Well, I've got a viewer letter today that I'm going to read, and the ending is not going to be pretty because I don't think I'm going to be able to assist this viewer at all. But it brings me to a point, and I've talked about this before, that I need your help on. If you know anybody or if you used to work in the equipment business and you've got old price pages, you could help the world out. And let me get to my letter and I'll explain what's going on. Letter comes today from Michael. Michael says, is there a standardized quick attach loader bracket? I can't find the brackets anywhere for a loader, and I thought that maybe I was looking for an exact part number when maybe there are other manufacturer brackets that would work also. I'm trying to mount, and this is a New Holland, a 46 LB on a TB 110. 46 LB is a front end loader and the TB 110 is a tractor. I currently have the 46 LB and the right side bracket, but need a left side bracket. The New Holland brackets are impossible to find. I was wondering if there was a standardized fit for loader brackets. Like if you wanted to put a Koyker loader on the same tractor, would you need the brackets from Koyker, or would the New Holland brackets work? Please help. Michael, you've opened a can of worms there, and let's go back to the root of the problem. There's a lot of tractors floating around out there that don't have front end loaders, and there's a lot of front end loaders floating around without brackets. Long story about why this is, basically, we used to not order all of our tractors with front end loaders. And then what would happen when the tractor came in without a front end loader, the dealer would either put the brand name like New Holland or Case or Deere or whoever, their loader on the tractor and sell it that way, or they would buy an aftermarket loader, which was usually cheaper because the original manufacturers, the Deeres, the Cases, New Hollands, were buying those loaders from somebody else, marking them up and putting on the tractor. So in other words, if you bought a Case tractor or New Holland or Deere tractor, you could get a Westendorf or Koyker or Great Bend or Bush Hog loader cheaper than you could and comparable quality to the one that had the brand name of the tractor on it. So, manufacturers of front end loaders wanted to ship quantities of front end loaders out, the main frame of the loader, the part that comes off, to dealers. And so they would have a freight-free plan where they would ship, if you ordered 10 of them or whatever a truckload was, you got freight-free. And then when you sold the loader, whichever tractor it went on, you would order the mounting brackets then. And they could be shipped in a lot cheaper than a full loader that had to come in on a freight truck. And so there were a lot of loaders out there, but one by one, as we started to order the tractors from the manufacturers with the loaders, and the manufacturers got a belly full of financing aftermarket loaders on their tractors, and they put a stop to it. They refused to do that. And so consequently, the financing is what drove everybody to, when you bought a Deere tractor, to have a Deere loader on it, or Case tractor, Case loader, etc. So it one by one put a lot of the loader manufacturers out of business. What happened was you have all these front end loaders, the main frame of the loader, and no mounting kit. And nobody knows what mounting kit would mount to what tractor. And so in Michael's case, he's got a New Holland brand loader, which I think was made by Schwartz. And how he came up with one loader bracket, I'm not sure. That baffles me a little bit. But if he's got one loader bracket, he needs the other one. And about the only reason you'd be better off with one loader bracket for one side versus having none at all is, at least if you were going to fabricate a loader bracket to go on the tractor, you'd have something to look at, so you'd mirror image that one and make one for the other side. But you'd have a ton of money tied up in it in labor and design work and everything when you were done. So, Michael, to answer your question, if you bought the Koyker mounting brackets, they would not mate up with the New Holland loader. That they're not standard. The cradle that it mounts in is not standard. And so you've got to find the New Holland loader mounting bracket. So if you're out there and you're an old dealer or you're a collector of junk and you've got a mounting bracket to mate and I'm not even sure they'll match together, a 46 LB loader, or 46 LB to a TB 110. And that's kind of a rare combination. If you've got those, here's a chance. Just put it in the comments down below and Michael will see it and he can reach out and get those brackets. But the options you have, Michael, are number one, you can go on New Holland's website, get the part number of that other side you need, and put that in your Google search, copy it and put it in your Google search and see if anybody out there happens to have it. Or my option, I think it would be the closest to coming to fruition, is to go to a salvage yard. And I gave him the name. There's a Ford New Holland tractor salvage yard in our area that he might try. And there's an outfit north of here that sells used loaders, and I gave him their phone number, and they might be able to help him. But otherwise, there's a good chance all of those brackets have gone back when steel got high and you could melt down stuff and turn it into cash. Most dealers cleaned house. And so all those old mounting kits that fit oddball combinations went away. But here's where I need your help. If you've got old price pages from like Bush Hog or Great Bend or some of these companies that are no longer selling, or Woods that are no longer selling front end loaders, I would love to have them, because I would digitize them and put them on my website. So at least we would know this model of front end loader fits this brand and model of tractor. And most of those combinations had limitations. Like if you ordered a Woods loader or any brand of loader, or Bush Hog loader, whatever brand of loader, for a certain model of tractor, it might say will not fit if the tires are, bigger on the front. If it was four-wheel drive and you had the optional tall tires, this won't work. There's a lot of notes in there about limitations where this whole thing wouldn't work. But that's all going away. It may already be lost because of all the transition in the front end loader business. Nobody digitized these. All these price pages were in print before the internet, and they're just about gone. So if you know an old rep for Great Bend or Bush Hog or whoever, and they've got the old price pages in a closet somewhere, I would love to have them. And I would pay them to send them to me, and I will digitize them and put them on my website so they're preserved for humanity. Because just knowing if a 46 LB will fit a TB 110, and that's easy. You can go on New Holland's website and tell that, because it'll have the combinations there. But anybody else, these aftermarket suppliers that have not making a certain type of loader anymore, that information is just about gone, and it needs to be preserved. So if you've got any kind of source for that information, shoot me an email, mike@asktractormike.com, and let me know who to reach out to, because I would love to preserve that information. It doesn't do me any great financial gift other than build traffic to my website, but it needs to be preserved, because when you found an old Great Bend loader and you want to know if it fits a John Deere tractor, if that information were available, it needs to be on the internet, and I have looked high and low for it, haven't found it. But to get to Michael, I don't know you're going to be able to mount that front end loader up to that tractor without some extensive fabrication, blacksmith work, and I don't know if it's worth it or not. But I really don't have a high degree of faith that you're ever going to be able to find this if the part you need exists at all. I appreciate you watching my videos. I would be honored if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking the mic face icon. Make sure you check the bell so you get notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun Store with cool things for sale for the tractor owner to help support my channel. Here's another couple videos you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.